Jungle. Audio Jungle.
chako ichi ngatisanyane pasi kuitira iwe ukazofa vanaka hanzi iwe ukazofa iwewe agreement inosara iri alive come on guys but anyway tine a lot to talk about but right regai tizwe kuna kwaenda mkomukoma vave ninge wabva vadona but anyway regai tifambire mberi right advocate TK, do you want to come through? Advocate TK.
Hello, Uncle Jedza.
How are you?
I'm fine. Ziri say.
I want to write mkoma kurise kwa murikoko.
Ewa kuri nani zvako kuri nani.
Right. Ndiyo nyaya yatinayo itipewo tinzwa maonere enyu.
Yeah. On this issue, right? My views are like our chief Andika. Mamira zvakaita ndezvekuti he's holding the rules, that he's holding the community in terms of the community has to benefit, like building a private school in the community. It will benefit the people in that area also. And I wanna like about private school guy in the extreme, like in extreme Andika, which means kuti pane ma benefit atanga nevana like nerera vana vakafirwa vachaita mabenefit from this school. So kuti chifa vakuti asipa mutemo inofanira kutosungwa.
Matizoni chikoro ichi chine program yachiri kupa kuti izovaiva nherera vanokwanisa kuenda nemahara.
Yeah, like that. Like Riverton is an academy in a group of schools, and so Riverton it will offer like these principles. A good one and vaya vakafirwa nyantambudzika vanowana access to this private school.
This Riverton ndo Riverton imazuva emakore apfuurayo yescandal.
Yeah, ndo Riverton iyoyo.
Right. Oh yeah, I remember now.
So it is a good school to the community. It is really that the community are doing engage in mangwana. But this chief is holding the community back now. Like kuti vanhu vajera ngoti my chief and allegations that vajera ngo benefit from this community, but he's holding back.
Right. Saka mimi maona nge vatochukura mutemo ava chifa.
Chifa rukanganisira vanhu. Abuse of power, like he has power, but the power is he's abusing the power.
But pane mapoints ataurwa ningi na iye mukuru uyu ataura iye kuti ningirikini mapapers asati apo, mamwe mapapers asati apo, but he's saying kuti government vakuchigadzisa mapepa and kuvaka chikoro vacharamba nhingi vachivaka, but iyo nyaya yekuti izvo chikoro ichi chiri kuvakwa zvinhu zvacho zvisati zvapo chakutoparita zvinhu zvacho zvisati zvapo hazvisiri izvo here zviri kutaurwa nachief on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side, right? We can say that, but how can a school be built from foundation level up to Mira and one out end? Where was he? As he got in the community. Angaruko this time. Chichivakwa. This is a grazing area. Then after Chikocha pay also nas. All this time, what was he doing in the community?
Yeah, Baba, chief one we have to explain. Baba, explanation I want to give up as well. I'm going to look for the video. You said something about that. Could you also find this one no vakapiwa ngichoko momwe vakaita kuti chikoro chivakwe ione vakatasa kuside.
Yeah, so you now see kuti let's say kuti right now is holding these people back, like kuti vabereka vanhu vana kuenda kuchikoro vamisa vana kuenda kuchikoro, right? These people are stranded now vana kuenda kuchikoro with an area yekuti pamwe mune nyoka mune chi mwana uri mwana nyoka ofira mota toti chichukitika apa iya yavhara
Right.
road.
Yeah. Aiwa, iyo ndo my actions anga ari kutaurwa nevamwe kuti aiwa, you was not supposed to go to that land yekuti vanovhara road. Waudhinaya vanhu access ka. Ko kana kune vanhu vangada kungodarikawo zvavo.
So inasi kuti the chief is wrong on his side, like kuti munhu arongoda choko muhomwe munhu akuda mari, but the community should benefit from this. It's like kutoti chikoro chika ichi, even if kuti right chakwa besides kuti my government allegations or something zviri pamutemo handika, but the community is
Eh,
benefiting because tombo pamwe local mamusina magetsi, obviously school bring magetsi muchikoro, vana vari kuwana zvavanobenefitawo, mvura, electricity, so zvinhu zvoita chikoro community ine mberi izvi.
right. Yeah. Saka mutotati ava chief havasi kuda nenge development chief.
Chief of the development,
Yeah.
he wants kuti iye benefit than community benefits, kuti iye kutanga
Right.
benefit besides the community asi tasa vanhu vake, he's looking for himself.
Right. Aiwa, thank you very much mukoma, nenge ndinotenda necontribution yenyu. Regai tinzwe kuti vamwe vanowirirana nezvamataura here, but I do appreciate.
Ndotenda mukoma wangu, ndotenda vamwe vachataura nena vambotaura, aiwa ndanzwa mashoko enyu arume andibata bata zvikuru, ndatenda.
Asi mune association nechikoro here mukoma?
No, I'm just a person ari kutoonyera akusvika kuti community yedu mangwana igrowe.
Alright. But do you come from that community?
Yeah, I come from the community.
Right. Okay. No, yeah, that explains why, interesting. Right. Anyway, thank you very much for that mukoma aramba yenyu muri ipapo. Regai timbonzwa kubva kuna Chenai. Chenai, how you doing?
Hello, Mkoma Jed. What do you say, Zvenyu?
Hey, happy new year.
Happy New Year. Is it too late to say Christmas box?
Woman. 12 days of Christmas in Zakadari.
Christmas box.
We is way past the 12 days of Christmas.
Zviri kwere. So
Cool.
long vandisati tataura tinotongotaura chitori chikwereti cheChristmas box.
Yeah, tachinyora musana.
Nditi.
Mm.
Nyaya kuZimbabwe it never ceases to amaze me, to be honest, guys. Zvinhu zvinoitika hazvistori normal.
Right.
Hazvistori normal. It's like, wow, I mean, this case for me, it has just highlighted like the extent of lawlessness that um that we are in when it comes to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is just lawless. And unfortunately, the people that suffer the most are the children, you know. Whichever
Uh-huh.
way we look at it, the children are the ones that are going to suffer in this situation. They are no winners. Right at the center of this whole case, I mean, for me, I was gobsmacked. I was totally shocked to learn, Kuti, you can have a school that is not licensed. Like,
Mm.
guys, we're talking about our children's education, and not just their education, their protection, And I know, Kuti, that school, as much as officially we're saying is not licensed, of course, it has had interactions with the Ministry of Education, because children, they go there, they take exams. It's likely to be a registered exam center. And yet, it has not been, it has been subjected to other matters in the past, but it has no license. I could not believe my ears. For me, that's the biggest issue that we have here. Is then we are asking, if you look in even in Harare, there are new schools mushrooming everywhere. Are those schools licensed? Who is making sure that our children are safe? Who is making sure that the teachers that are looking after the children, they are not criminals? They have, their records are in good standing. I really I can't I just could not believe it. Kuti zviriko here zvekudaro. And then the whole situation with the chief, And by his own admission, Nini, as the chief, according to the constitution, I can make independent decisions. And that chief akataura, and I was even wondering because because he was saying kuti, the community has not benefited. Okay, fair enough. That's a good point. But he also clearly stated kuti, he had 3 heads of cattle there. This school has been fined several times already, right? So what was the point of him doing 3 heads of cattle, 2 heads of cattle? He was like, I don't even know what the size. Can I just herd my cattle mangane anenge ari imomo? Like what is the end game of doing that? Because he said he already fined some people in his courts or whatever jurisdiction he has to do so. But the problem has not gone away. The school is still unlicensed. The issue again of property rights when it comes to our rural land, this is another issue that is also highlighted by this case. Kuti, where do we draw the line? Where do you own something? Or are we so lawless? Kuti, I can just go into something, whatever it is, and I'm now subjected to Kuti chief around and fire, what deals can I cut with him? Is this how our country is being run? I'm just really quite shocked, to be honest, at the fact that something so delicate and important as a school can just be under the radar in terms of the law. And that to me is very concerning. And I don't think the buck should stop necessarily with the proprietor of the school. We should take it back to the Ministry of Education to say, what is going on? Why do we have schools that exist are not regularized? How are they monitoring and ensuring, safeguarding or child protection in schools when they can't do the basics of ensuring that a school is correctly registered so that it can be inspected? So I'm just really, as a mother, I can't imagine, you know, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, this school had a scandal about 7 years ago where they where the allegation of abuse of 79 students vakanzi vakarohwa in the dead of the night after hanzi vaita some misdemeanor. And you're looking at a school that has got that much controversy in terms of how it was running the environment of that school, because students are supposed to be in a conducive learning environment yekuti vanokwanisa kuti vadzidze and being encouraged to perform to the maximum of their earning potential. But you're having these scandals, and then now that same school or that same person behind this school, this businessman, goes on and have a school that is not properly licensed. uh, are you saying that is what you're referring to as speaking to the lawlessness that is existing in there?
Yes, I'm saying you cannot have, okay, you cannot have a school that is not licensed. You can't have, something as important as a school lying in the hands of, someone outside even of the Ministry of Education or Home Affairs. Like the chief is now the one saying this school is unlicensed. You know what I mean? And then where is at the discretion of headsmen to decide whether a school should be licensed or not. It sounds like this is what is going on here. And for me, that is really, I'm
There
really
was a
shocked
meeting.
that
There was a meeting yaitwa nhasi ku Ministry of Education, and this chief, he attended the meeting, but he left. That meeting. Isina kumboenda nekwayaenda. But they came out and said, everything has been cleared. This, because he went in there, he protested. But when he left, after a few minutes or so, 30 minutes or so, they came out and said, the government is now looking at regularizing ngoma ndiyo things must yapo vana vapo saka we cannot start to talk about relocating or demolishing the school and relocating the school to an area which is outside of this grazing area where he's saying Gutizo, because of that reason again that school should not be in the area where it is right now. And then but you are talking about a communal area where this chief is saying kuti inzvimbo yake. So how can a school be built from the foundation all the way to finishing and all
Guys,
getting students coming in without him knowing or without him raising any of these objections?
okay, I hear you, Uncle Jed, but for me, iwayo small small, ekuti chief chakadaro chief Jed kana kuti chief Chenai vazoti chi.
Mm,
Chikoro ichi kuti chikoro chisumuke chimire, ndoda kuziva kuti Ministry of Education, have they checked, is this structurally sound? Is it in an appropriate location in terms of its amenities?
mhm,
You know, we need to understand what are the credentials of whoever is the one in charge of care of children's protection at that school. What is that process? Are we saying kuti, we are happy for that process to be undermined, ignored if it doesn't exist? So long the chief is happy, we should be happy. This is it's beyond that.
mhm,
Yeah, the idea is like the perfect storm. The fact that the chief and the proprietor have fallen out, now this has come into the hands of the public. The public has become is now has full knowledge of the situation, right?
mhm.
So what should we draw from this? What should we do next? And for me, I would like to understand from the Ministry of Education, I would like to understand from the Ministry of Home Affairs even, kuti zvinoita sei kuti chikoro chinosumuka chigomira chigonyora maexams imi muchitaura kuti it has not been regularized. Is the regularization of schools just a rubber stamping process? Because we know kuti right now kune zvikoro kumidlands uko zviri kudonha because zvakavakwa pari kuitwa mining.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Mm,
We know that we've had other schools, we've had cases, scandals in Zimbabwe where children have died because they've been abused by people that they were left in the care of. And
mm.
and all this is indicating kuti something is wrong in terms of what does the law, what do we have in place to protect